Outlander Season 7 has officially wrapped up, and I'm honestly feeling a bit lost right now. It's hard to imagine anything else I watch will come close to matching the intensity and emotional depth of this season, at least until the highly anticipated Season 8 arrives. But before we dive into what we can expect from the next season, let's take a moment to reflect on the finale of Season 7, because, wow, there's a lot to unpack. I have to admit, I was a little let down by the finale. I was really hoping for a major conflict, especially involving Jamie and the consequences of his decision to leave the army. I was expecting a bigger emotional fallout and more dramatic resolutions. Instead, the episode felt somewhat underwhelming to me. However, there was one twist in the finale that genuinely shocked me, something even the book readers didn't see coming. It was such a jaw-dropping moment that I'm still reeling from it. The episode kicks off with Jane being interrogated by a local journalist. Jane shows no remorse or regret for her actions, embracing the role of villain, even as she's painted as a monster by the public. But despite her apparent coldness, I couldn't help but feel proud of her in that moment. Meanwhile, William is desperately seeking John Grey's help, hoping to save Jane from her inevitable fate. William's choice to go to Jamie, the man who had shattered his heart by lying to him for years, speaks volumes about just how desperate he is. Even though Jamie agrees to help, things don't go as planned, and they find Jane dead, leaving William devastated. Now, let's talk about Claire. Early on in the episode, we're told that Claire is doing fine, having made the decision to live. I don't know about you, but this felt a little frustrating. It felt like the season spent so much time building up various dramatic storylines, only to drop them abruptly. Claire's near-death experience, the affair between Claire and John Grey, and even the supposed death of Jamie, it all felt rushed and, frankly, anticlimactic. This season had some of the same vibes as the rushed final season of Game of Thrones, and honestly, I wasn't a fan of that. But, despite my frustration with the pacing, there was a pivotal moment when Claire, still recovering from her illness, sees Master Raymond, a figure from her past, enter her room. He's the one who helped her during that heartbreaking time in Paris when she lost her baby. His sudden appearance was no coincidence, and it sets the stage for one of the biggest revelations in the entire episode. Master Raymond tells Claire to have faith and leave, and his words carry significant weight. There's a deep connection between these two, especially given their history. It was a powerful scene that I didn't see coming at all. Then, of course, there's the emotional farewell between Claire and John Grey. It was heartwarming, but it left me with so many questions. Is this the last we'll see of John in Season 8? If so, why did this scene feel so understated? After all, John has been such a crucial character over the years, and I was expecting a more emotional send-off. But the biggest shock came when William brought Jane's sister, Francesca, to Jamie and Claire. From the moment Francesca appeared on screen, something felt off. There was an unusual focus on her, and she was surprisingly talented for a secondary character. Turns out, Francesca isn't just some side character, she's connected to Claire in a way no one could have predicted. After spending some time with her, Claire realizes something extraordinary. Francesca's mother's name was Faith, and the song she sings is the one Claire once sang to her stillborn daughter all those years ago. In that moment, Claire has a revelation Francesca is actually her granddaughter. Can you believe it? I was absolutely floored. This is a huge twist, and it was completely unexpected, especially since it doesn't exist in the books. How did this storyline even come about? It leaves me with so many questions. The episode also featured a long-awaited confrontation between Jamie and William, but, honestly, it didn't pack the emotional punch I was hoping for. William tells Jamie he'll never consider him his father, which was a brutal moment, but the entire scene felt rushed and lacked the depth I expected from such an important moment. Meanwhile, Brianna and Roger's reunion was as sweet as expected, but there wasn't much drama or development in their storyline, which I found surprising given how central it had been earlier in the season. As for young Ian, he's becoming a father, and his dog is dead. That was a bittersweet moment, but it didn't quite make up for the lack of depth elsewhere. Now, let's turn our attention to Season 8. What can we expect from the final season of Outlander? First off, it looks like Jamie and Claire will put on their detective hats and delve into the mystery of what happened to Faith. It's clear that Master Raymond had a hand in saving Claire's stillborn baby and somehow allowing her to survive. But it's also evident that Faith didn't exactly have an easy life after that. Jamie and Claire will likely adopt Francesca, giving her the life she deserves. And I'm honestly excited to see how this plays out. Seeing a young, hopeful character in the final season could provide some much-needed optimism. In Season 8, we'll also see the Mackenzies team up with Jamie and Claire to investigate time travel and share their findings. As for Jamie and Claire's fate, it's clear that their journey will end in tragedy. The fire that will take their lives is inevitable, and while we don't know all the details yet, we do know that this will be the end of their story. And then, of course, there's that iconic scene with Jamie's ghost standing before Claire's window. Just thinking about it gives me chills. Season 8 is expected to arrive by the end of 2025, with filming already completed. The show will likely premiere in October 2025, so it's almost here. In the meantime, make sure to stay tuned for weekly updates on Outlander, including all the latest details on the prequel series Blood of My Blood. And that's a wrap for this Outlander season recap. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through all the twists, turns, and shocking moments of Season 7. As we gear up for Season 8, it's clear there's so much more to uncover, and I can't wait to dive back into the world of Jamie, Claire, and all the unforgettable characters. Stay tuned for more updates, because there's definitely a lot more to come, especially with the Blood of My Blood prequel on the horizon. Don't forget to like, follow, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and see you next time